top group today. And the other decisive game was Maghsoodloo winning again. So like in the last 5 rounds, Maghsoodloo like won all of his games. Like he was doing very poorly in the tournament, and he finished very reasonably because he kept winning, and he beat Aronian in the last round. Let's start with the end game because, as you said, we're getting tired of these games.
Well, I didn't mean it like that.
No, I agree.
Hey, Jeremiah.
So this was obviously a Sicilian. It was a Najdorf Sicilian. I'm not sure why Aronian's white and Najdorf Sicilian. That doesn't make any sense. Very insulting to his opponent. And as you can see, black sacrificed the exchange. Black's down the exchange. Black has a pass pawn on the 6th rank. And white's king is a little suspicious. And this knight can't be kicked out. So this is actually good for black.
What, you're saying he doesn't usually play this opening?
No, Aronian doesn't have white and a Najdorf Sicilian. No, he plays d4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have white and a Najdorf because he doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah, that's insulting playing that against Maghsoodloo. Okay, so rook c8's played, defending his passed pawn. Let me flip the board, actually. Aronian plays bishop d1, very passive. Knight d7, attacking the bishop. Bishop a4, the point of bishop d1. Queen c4, bishop goes back to f2. Defends his pawn again, attacks the pawn on a5, sort of, but not really, because I can take this. Knight f1, always retreat. Knight e3, and knight e3 is a blunder. It wants him to play bishop takes knight on d7, and then knight e3. But knight e3 right away is bad. Queen c7, and now it really hates white's position. Here comes the knight to f4. Here comes a piece sack that doesn't work, and I won't do that. Like if I even when the engine tells me that bishop takes is better than knight e3, I don't know why. I don't want him to play knight c5 because knight d3, knight a4. So he takes it now, and queen takes. So somehow this interpolation of bishop takes first, forcing the bishop to go to d7, is much better for white than not letting him do that. Probably because he has knight d5. So if he had played bishop takes d7 in this position, you can't take with the queen because the queen's not there. Take with the bishop, then the knight can probably just go to d5. It's a very reasonable place for the knight. So that's why knight e3 first is wrong. Now you can take with the queen, and d5 is protected.
Okay, I see.
Okay, so you played rook b1. Always play bishop f8. g3 is a terrible weakening. Horrible, but you have to stop knight f4, I guess. Horrible. c2. Bishop e3, and okay, that pawn is too strong. And 2 bishops. 2 bishops, what else? Always sack the exchange. So now black's a pawn up and has a safer king, and white has an isolated pawn. So this is the wrap it up button. And there's just 2 pawns up for nothing. I gave one of his pawns back. That way he can make 2 queens. So his queen defends this pawn, and this pawn queens. I don't care about this pawn. And if you play queen f5 check, like some kind of perpetual, then I play g6, and my queen's defending this pawn. So once I play king here, if you start checking me, you don't have any more checks. And I'm just going to do this. So very simple. He's playing h5, so after queen here check, g6, he can take it. That's why he put his pawn here. Queen b1 check. Queen c2 check. Always check. a3. a2. And after a2, he resigned. The truth hurts. See, the reason he played queen c2 is this checking idea that I was telling you about. You can't do it. The queen's here. If you check me anywhere else, I play here. And now I'm threatening the queen. And so now you don't have anything to do. So a very poor opening choice, in my opinion, from Aronian, because Maghsoodloo loves playing the Sicilian Najdorf with black, and Aronian likes to play d4. So he got his opponent out of his prep by playing e4, but Aronian didn't understand the positions as well and got outplayed. And Maghsoodloo's been playing great the last 5 games. I don't know how Maghsoodloo got good all of a sudden. The first 7 games of the tournament, then crushing it.
Yeah, I think you could extrapolate more on that. Well, now, why do you think it was insulting?
1 second. Maghsoodloo tied for 5th with Fabi. Man, Maghsoodloo had a great finish to the tournament. It's insulting because you're playing an opening that your opponent knows and likes, and you don't know and don't like it, but you're just like, that'll get him out of his prep. He's prepping for d4 or knight f3 because that's what I usually play. And this way, I'll just play chess with him, but you don't want to play chess with him in a knight orf because that's what Maghsoodloo likes. You're just saying, oh, well, it doesn't matter what you like is you're no good. What matters is you can't prep for me. And Aronian thought it was the last round. He can't win the tournament anymore. And he wants to get a interesting kind of a game. And he picked the wrong opponent to do that with. Like if Aronian was playing me, he could play like g3 on move 1, which maybe he's never played, and he would crush me. And it's insulting. He's like, well, Ben doesn't know g3. I don't know g3, so I'll play that, and then Ben plays terrible. But if he's like, oh, Ben's really good, I'm going to play my repertoire. I'm going to play everything I know really well. But he wouldn't do that against me. And that's why Magnus against Iragasi played weird. Because he's trying to get people out of their prep and then play chess with them. That insinuates I'm better at chess than you are. Now, Aronian is better than Maghsoodloo, and Magnus is better than Iragasi. So, you know, they don't want their opponents to play 25 moves of prep and then draw the game easily. They want to have a fighting game where you see who the better player is. And unfortunately, Aronian's idea of getting out of the prep of d4 was to play something that Maghsoodloo knows really well, the Knight Orf Sicilian. So a very strange. You don't want to have white in a Knight Orf when you know your opponent knows it better than you do. This is why the greatest players of all time, like Fischer and Kasparov, play the Knight Orf because they were booked to the teeth. Fischer did his own book preparation, and Kasparov had a team of people doing it.
I don't know.
Nobody knew more theory than they did.
If they're getting
I've never been so insulted.
If they're getting insulted, they need to grow some. I mean, come on.
Well, he got insulted and he crushed him. So, but that's an amazing comeback. Maghsoodloo was like fighting for last place with 5 rounds to go, and he finished +1 with Fabi ahead of Aronian. I mean, the last 5 rounds, Maghsoodloo killed it. I can't say enough about Maghsoodloo. In fact, I'm going to tell you the results because I'm sitting right here and I can look at them. Also, it kills time. In the last round, Maghsoodloo won against Aronian. In the penultimate round, if I can find it, Maghsoodloo beat Iragasi. In the round before that, Maghsoodloo beat Praggnanandhaa. He won his last 3 games. That's crazy.
Yeah. That is
okay, then he
crazy.
lost to Magnus in round 10. So after Magnus beat him, he won his last 3 rounds. Nobody wins 3 games in a row in this tournament. He's probably the only person who did. And I think in round 9, he drew Wesley. And he lost in round 8. So basically the first 9 rounds, he was doing badly. And then the last 3 rounds he won. I'm sorry, the first 10 rounds. So first 10 rounds, he's -2. And he's fighting for last. Then he wins his last 3 games. And he ties for 5th with Fabi. If you told me 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days ago, or before that Maghsoodloo's going to have the same score as Fabi, there's no way. Fabi was having a good tournament until Magnus beat him. Then that ruined Fabi's tournament. Conversely, when Maghsoodloo lost to Magnus, then Maghsoodloo won all of his games. So there you go.
Exciting.
I can't believe that Magnus played Maghsoodloo. All right.